The Rage Hospital issue has been an issue that most Ghanaians are keenly interested in because it's relatable. I mean, most people have been to some of these health facilities and then they've complained about delay in service or pure negligence. So when this issue of Ralph and the friends came in with the emergency unit at the Rage Hospital, most people were paying keen attention to this particular issue on all social media platforms. Now, the issue has taken another dramatic turns. If you are following this issue, you realize that this issue is full of detours and a lot of conundrums. So, Rebecca, yeah. So now the current issue is the fact that let me build up from the beginning how this whole thing happened, so that in case you are not aware of what actually happened, you have full context of where and how we arrived at where we are now. Okay, so the issue is basically about Rouse and Williams, who happens to be a social media activist, who claimed that he was called that one of his friends had an accident and he was being treated at the Rage Hospital, but unfortunately he was not being attended to, though they've been there for like almost an hour. So he, being a good friend, decided to go there and then check up on the issue to make sure that the authorities there are doing what's right so that they can take care of their patient. That's their friend. Now, when they went there, actually, he videoed the whole hospital for about 15 minutes. I don't know whether that's the only video that he had, but that's the one that made it to the mainstream media. And then he was giving an account of what was actually happening in the hospital, where clearly in the video there was a bit of I don't know how to put it, but there wasn't any sense of urgency with regards to how the health professionals were attending to the issue. Okay, and this is supposed to be an emergency unit. So emergency unit means that it's something that is emergency. It needs to be treated on as early as it can, because somebody has had an accident, there can be internal bleeding and a whole lot of stuff. So as early as they can actually they should rush to the person to give the person medical care. But that didn't happen that way. And the nurses were actually not in the space to give that kind of service to Ralph and his friends. Now, this issue became a big issue because now one of the nurses in question was Nurse Chochobote, who happens to be a rotational nurse at the Rage Hospital. Now, she claimed after this issue happened, she came out to say that Ralph allegedly assaulted her. I mean, Ralph in a way sort of moved to her, and then he was being aggressive, and she even went further to actually sue Ralph in a civil case, whereby she sued Ralph for defamation and assault, and actually, which was around 7 million Ghana cedis. And Ralph in return to that also resorted to spirituality. He also went to a spiritual man to actually plead his innocence. In Ghana here, if you are doing something with someone and then the person is you feel like the person is not being fair, or the person is being dishonest or lying on you, there is a way that some people can resort to the spiritual means to actually rectify the issue, to make sure that they come out clean and the reputation will be intact. So this issue basically started from what this account, and then it has followed a lot of conundrum whereby the health professionals have come in, and there's even a back and forth between the minister and the nursing and midwifery authorities, because they felt like the issue wasn't being handled the way they expected it to handle. And both sides had an issue, okay, because the health professionals felt like their security wasn't so safe because the guy moved into the hotel, and he was basically recording them, and they felt like it wasn't the right thing to do. And on the other side, the guy also felt like it was the right thing because this person is not the only person that has actually experienced an issue of neglect in our hospitals. And personally, I've spoken to a lot of people that have actually confirmed that when it comes to neglect, some of these general hospitals or government hospitals, they have their issues of that. When you speak to the health professional, they say that they don't have enough health personnel in their hospital to sometimes attend readily to issues the way we want it. Okay, so this is the case. And then for some time now, we've not really heard so much about the case because there was a committee that was set to look into this case by the Honorable Health Minister, Minta Akando. Now, finally, the committee came up with something, okay? So at least we've made progress with regards to the validity of the assault. And this also opens up a different angle to the court case or the civil case, because now I don't know whether the court case will be valid per the findings of the committee. So the committee have finally presented their findings to the honorable minister, and it shows that there is no clear evidence of health evidence of the fact that the lady was assaulted, because there was no evidence of a dislocated shoulder or arm like she's saying, or a fractured wrist like she alleged initially. Charlie, you see, Charlie, no be easy. This issues, this issue, I come tap here, talk plenty, because at that moment, I didn't want to be in a space whereby I felt like I don't know much about what's happening, or I wasn't actually there in the hospital. So I can't just base on the video that we all saw on the media that, okay, the nurse wasn't being truthful, because the way she was talking when she was asked of her account of the story was honestly not convincing enough. And I decided to cut her some slack, because, Charlie, some people might have a good case, but they might not know how to actually present their case. And then again, you can't just be cold on the person and say, okay, because you don't know how to actually present your case, it means you are lying. So personally, I was saying that, okay, look, let's be patient and wait for the update or the outcome of the committee. And finally, it's here. So it looks like from the evidence they've given and from the update, it kind of looks like there was no truth in what Nurse Tetebote was initially saying about the assault. Well, maybe to a certain degree, but the battery still holds because of how delicate the legal delicacies with regards to the battery side. It might still hold, but with regards to assault, with the findings from the health the committee, I don't think that it holds, because there's no empirical evidence to back that claim. Charlie, it be serious. It be serious, because me I sit here and I defend the woman. I pass a Virgil van Dijk, then Rudiger, then pay them. I defend them, because I feel like, okay, sometimes maybe she has a reason, blah blah. Hey, I'll say it be settings. You know, be say they defend them, because then the thing they talk, they da home, but I just decided, okay, maybe she just doesn't know how to present. She doesn't know how to present her case well. So that let's give her some time. Let's give the committee some time to come up with a finding. Sana, be settings. So, Charlie, I don't know, bro. I don't know, because this issue, the way it's going, it's. I don't know. I think that the civil case would most likely, from the updates that we've had, I don't think it will have any valid premises to hold. So I doubt, but let's see, because that's the technical aspect of the legalities should be left to the court and the lawyers to decide. But Charlie, this issue, you see, it's a very pressing issue, because it's in relation to health, and most people are keenly interested, not because they are just interested, because most people they find themselves in the case, they find themselves on the side of Ralph, and some people, a few section of the health personnel also feel like they also side with the health professional, because they also know that it's not easy working on the forefront of these major hospitals, because there's always back-to-back issues. So it has become a bit of chimamintry. And see, as same way there, Charlie, we should just find a way to bring calm and find a proper solution to this, because earlier today, the CEO of Pantine Hospital actually came out to say that even though they are running a 24-hour service delivery, but they don't have enough health personnel to actually help out, which means that they don't have enough human resources. But there's a lot of nurses at home currently awaiting posting. I don't know what's going on. So I believe this issue provides some form of evidence that we have a problem with regards to our health structure, and we should look into it. I just hope that at least amidst all the saga, it will bring some level of effectiveness and efficiency with regards to our health system. But then again, Ralph, they will decline, because the lady know the fast here. I don't know the other far court. He take past court. We Ralph to talk say this word. One thing where they pay him for this word, we say when Like, do something, then somebody they lie on you like Charlie. I did we one year you wouldn't say this thing, be you where you do the person will talk say la you do where between you and the person and God, see this thing no happen, but the person they talk say they do it they pain pass. So as Ralph to hear say the next they talk, they'll say nah, go sit down with somebody who sort of ruin his reputation. So also they fast. So we saw Ralph in some kind of a traditional setup that he was in some way leaving the issue to the ancestors. And now in Ghana here, Charlie, we're rough now here. No better was this year. Because I mean, 100 year, we believe that most Ghanaians, we have this belief that with there they are very just and straightforward, and they don't take delay in anything. So he also took that route to actually declare his innocence, and I don't know how potent that one will be. But the physical aspect is what we've had progress with. As for the spiritual aspect, Charlie, we dey hope see because anyway, I don't know how it go, Mom, but Charlie, let's hope say it's not as delicate as it is, and then we'll find a more precise and a more effective way to argue this issue out. If they have to sit down and then there's a bit of apology that the lady has to come up with with regards to her claims and how invalid it was, I mean, that's fine. I think that it will calm a lot of things. But for now, this is the update with regards to Nurse Tete Bote, who is a rotational nurse at the Rich Hospital, and the saga with Ralph St. Williams. Charlie, I don't know, man. It's something else, but how you go do I mean, it's one of those things that sometimes when it happens, you just hope that you find the right ways to actually rectify things. So that's what is happening with regards to the Rich Hospital issue. And Charlie, with that one said, I will end today's edition of Social Media Updates here. The name remains Donald, not Trump. I will see you on the other side. Peace.